Why calicos feel different. Welcome to a gentle journey through the world of calico cats. Get comfortable as we explore these remarkable felines together. Tonight, we begin with something curious, something that makes calico cats feel just a little bit different from all the others you've known. Let's start with fact. Number 1. Calico cats aren't actually a breed. They're a color pattern. This surprises many people when they first learn it. You see, when someone says calico, they're not describing a Maine Coon, or a Persian, or a Siamese. They're describing a coat, a particular arrangement of colors that can appear on many different types of cats. It's like saying someone has red hair. That describes their appearance, but not who they fundamentally are. A calico can be a domestic shorthair, a Japanese bobtail, a Persian. The pattern transcends breed. It's simply a beautiful quirk of genetics, painting itself across the feline family tree in the most unexpected places. And this brings us naturally to our second fact. Almost all calico cats are female. When you see a calico walking past your window or curled up in a sunbeam at a friend's house, you can be almost certain you're looking at a girl cat. The genetics that create that tricolor pattern, those patches of orange, black, and whitier, intimately connected to the X chromosome. Female cats have 2 X chromosomes, and this allows for that beautiful mosaic of colors to emerge. It's written into their very cells, this tendency toward the calico pattern. Nature has made them predominantly female, as if the calico coat were a gift passed down through the maternal line. Which leads us to fact number 3. Something even more remarkable. Male calico cats are extremely rare. So rare, in fact, that when one appears, it's almost like spotting a 4-leaf clover in a field of green. For a male cat to be calico, something unusual must happen genetically. He must have an extra X chromosome, making him XXY instead of the typical XY. This condition is called Klinefelter syndrome, and it occurs in only about 1 in 3,000 calico cats. So when you encounter a male calico, you're witnessing something truly special. A genetic rarity, walking on 4 paws through the world. These rare qualities haven't gone unnoticed throughout history. Our 4th fact tells us that many cultures consider calicos lucky or magical. In Japan, the maneki neko, or beckoning cat, that little figurine with the raised paw that you see in restaurants and shops, is often depicted as a calico. It's believed to bring good fortune and prosperity. In the United States, calicos are sometimes called money cats for similar reasons. Sailors used to bring calico cats aboard their ships, believing these tricolored companions would protect them from storms and bring safe passage. Across Ireland and Scotland, calico cats were thought to bring good fortune to the households they blessed with their presence. There's something about that particular combination of colors that has captured human imagination for generations. Paws, and perhaps there's a reason these superstitions arose. Fact number 5. People often say calicos feel more cat than other cats. This is harder to quantify, isn't it? It's not something you can measure in a laboratory, but cat lovers who've lived with calicos will know exactly what this means. There's an intensity to them, a presence. Calicos are often described as having strong personalities, opinionated, spirited, independent. They seem to embody everything we think of when we picture a cat. That mysterious self-possession, that dignified independence. Whether this is truly a trait of the coloring or simply our perception influenced by their striking appearance, the feeling persists. Calicos feel undeniably feline. Pause. Part of what makes each calico so memorable is our sixth fact. Each calico's pattern is completely unique. Just as no two snowflakes are identical, no two calicos share the same arrangement of patches. The orange here, the black there, the white on the chest or paws or face. It's all determined by random processes during development. Even in a litter of calico kittens, born to the same mother, each one will wear an entirely different coat. Their patterns are like fingerprints, unrepeatable and singular. This uniqueness becomes even more profound. With fact number 7, no two calicos look the same, ever, in the entire history of cats. Across all the calicos that have ever lived, from ancient Egypt to medieval Europe to modern Tokyo, ... Not one has ever been identical to another. You could line up 1,000 calicos, and each would be immediately distinguishable from all the rest. Some might have more white, some more orange. Some might have large, distinct patches, others a fine mottling of colors. Some have faces split perfectly down the middle in 2 colors, others have asymmetrical masks of all 3 hues swirled together. The variety is endless, and yet each is unmistakably calico. This brings us to fact 8, which follows naturally. Their bold coloring makes them instantly recognizable. Even from a distance, even in dim light, you can often spot a calico. That tricolor pattern stands out in ways that solid colored cats simply don't. Where a black cat might blend into shadows, or a white cat might disappear against a pale wall. A calico carries all their colors with them wherever they go. They're visually striking, designed by nature to catch the eye. Perhaps this is another reason they've accumulated so much folklore and meaning. They're simply impossible to overlook. And this visibility has an effect described in our 9th fact. Calicos often leave a strong first impression. When you meet a calico for the first time, you remember it. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's that personality we mentioned earlier, or perhaps it's a combination of both. But calicos tend to make their presence known. They walk into a room and somehow command attention without even trying. There's something about them that etches itself into memory, ... A certain magnetism that other cats, lovely as they may be, don't always possess in quite the same way. And finally, our 10th fact for this evening's opening. People tend to remember calicos more than other cats. Ask someone to describe cats they've known, and calicos come up again and again. There was this calico that used to sit on the fence in my childhood neighborhood. My grandmother had a calico named Dottie. I once knew a calico who would only drink from a running faucet. These memories persist. Perhaps it's because of their visual distinctiveness, or perhaps calicos truly do have memorable personalities that imprint themselves on the humans they encounter. Either way, in the vast catalogue of our memories, calicos seem to occupy a special place. So there we have it. 10 facts about what makes calico cats feel different. They're not a breed, but a pattern. They're almost always female, with males appearing as rare treasures. Cultures around the world have seen them as lucky, magical beings. They seem to embody the very essence of catness, with unusual intensity. Each one wears a pattern that has never existed before and will never exist again. They're bold, recognizable, memorable, leaving impressions that last long after they've curled up somewhere quiet and drifted off to sleep. Let these images of calico cats settle gently in your mind. Their patches of orange and black and white, their confident stride, their unique, unrepeatable beauty. Rest easy. More facts await. But for now, simply breathe and relax as you will find out more about the Calico Cat. ****. Welcome back to our gentle exploration of Calico Cats. Let your mind settle as we move deeper into their story. In this part of our journey, we'll discover the science behind what makes these cats so special. But don't worry, we'll keep the magic alive even as we understand the mechanisms beneath it. Let's begin with a reminder. Our 11th fact overall, but a foundation for what's to come. Calico coloring comes from genetics, not breed. We touched on this earlier, but it bears repeating as we dive deeper. Whether a cat becomes Calico has nothing to do with whether she's a Persian or a mixed breed or American Shorthair. It's written in her DNA, in the most fundamental instructions that built her from a single cell. The Calico pattern transcends all those breed distinctions. It's something more elemental, more universal across the feline family. Now let's look at where this begins. Fact 12. The orange and black colors live on the X chromosome. Inside every cell, coiled tightly in the nucleus, chromosomes carry the blueprints for life. And on the X chromosome specifically, there's a location, ... a genetic address, if you will, ... where the instructions for fur color reside. This particular spot can code for orange fur, or it can code for black fur. But here's the thing. It can only be one or the other on any single X chromosome, orange or black, not both. This simple fact is the key to understanding everything that follows. Fact 13 helps us continue. Female cats have 2 X chromosomes. This is true for most female mammals, actually. 2 X chromosomes, one inherited from mother, one from father. And because female cats have 2 of these X chromosomes, they have 2 copies of that color gene we just mentioned. 2 chances. 2 possibilities sitting side by side in every cell of their body. Which brings us to fact 14. One X can carry orange, the other black. Imagine a female kitten in her earliest moments, just beginning to form. She might inherit an X chromosome from her mother that codes for orange fur, and an X chromosome from her father that codes for black fur, or vice versa. The point is, she's carrying both instructions simultaneously. Both colors exist within her, waiting. Now let's consider the males. Fact 15. Male cats usually only have 1 X chromosome. Males are XY, 1 X from mother, 1 Y from father. That single X chromosome carries either orange or black, and that's it. That's the only color instruction the male cat has. If his X codes for orange, he'll be orange. If it codes for black, he'll be black. There's no second option, no alternative waiting in reserve. And this explains fact 16 perfectly. That's why males are rarely calico. To be calico, to have both orange and black in the coat, a cat needs both color instructions. Males typically only have 1 X chromosome, so they can only express 1 color. The mathematics of it simply don't work out. It's not impossible for males, as we'll discuss in a moment, but the standard male genetic makeup doesn't allow for it. So let's return to females, where something remarkable happens. Fact 17. In female kittens, 1 X chromosome randomly shuts off in each cell. This is where the magic truly begins. During early development, when the kitten is still forming, still becoming herself, each individual cell makes a choice. Not a conscious choice, of course, but a biological one. Each cell randomly inactivates one of its 2 X chromosomes. It's like flipping a coin in every single cell. Heads, this X stays active. Tails, the other one does. And once a cell makes that choice, all the descendant cells that grow from it will make the same choice. They inherit the decision. This process has a name. Fact 18. This process is called exinactivation. Scientists also call it lionization, named after Dr. Mary Lyon, who discovered this phenomenon in the 1960s. It happens in all female mammals, actually, not just cats, but in cats, because the color genes sit on the X chromosome. Exinactivation becomes visible. It becomes art. In humans, we can't see it, but it's happening in every woman's body, right? Now, in cats though, in cats, we get to witness it painted across their fur. So what does this mean for our developing calico kitten? Fact 19. Some skin cells show orange, others black. Remember, each cell randomly chose which X to silence. The cells that silenced the X carrying black will express orange. The cells that silence the X carrying orange will express black. And as the kitten grows, as her skin expands and her fur begins to grow, these patches of cells create patches of color. A cluster of cells here decided to be orange. A cluster nearby decided to be black. The pattern spreads outward from these early decisions, creating the landscape of color we recognize as calico. Fact 20 captures the result. This creates the patchy calico pattern. Those distinct islands of orange and black, each one representing a population of cells that all descended from a single cell that made a choice during development. The boundaries between patches mark the frontiers between these cell populations, its embryonic history written in fur. Every calico cat is wearing a map of her own cellular development, a visible record of decisions made when she was barely more than a cluster of dividing cells. But wait, you might be thinking, calico cats have 3 colors, not 2. Where does the white come from? Fact 20-1. Y fur comes from a separate white spotting gene. The white patches on a calico aren't part of the exinactivation story at all. They come from an entirely different gene, one that affects how pigment cells migrate during development. Where this gene is active, pigment cells fail to reach certain areas of the skin, and those areas grow white fur. No orange, no black, ... just white. It's a separate system overlaying the orange and black mosaic, adding another dimension to the pattern. This brings us to fact 22. Calico coloring is the result of multiple genes working together. It's not one gene creating this pattern. It's a symphony. The genes on the X chromosome determining orange versus black. The white spotting gene determining where white appears. Exinactivation choosing which color shows where. Random chance guiding the whole process. Multiple systems, multiple genetic players, all contributing to create something that feels almost designed, but is actually the product of beautiful, elegant randomness. Now remember those rare male calicos we mentioned? Let's return to them. Fact 20-3. Male calicos usually have an extra X chromosome. They're XXY instead of XY. This chromosomal arrangement, Klinefelter syndrome, gives them 2 X chromosomes, just like a female. And that means they can have one X carrying orange and one carrying black. Exinactivation can occur. The patches can form. A male cat with this genetic makeup can be calico, even though it's extraordinarily unusual. But there's a cost to this. Rarity. Fact 24. These males are often sterile. The extra chromosome disrupts normal reproductive development. Most XXY male calicos cannot father kittens. They live their lives as beautiful genetic anomalies, unable to pass on their unusual chromosomal makeup to the next generation. It's a gentle tragedy, in a way. These rare treasures cannot create more like themselves. And finally, fact 25. Fertile male calicos are exceptionally rare. We're talking about a fraction of an already tiny population. Most male calicos are already rare, perhaps 1 in 3,000, and of those, only a small percentage would be fertile. To encounter a fertile male calico is to witness something that borders on the miraculous. A genetic perfect storm that somehow, against all odds, resulted in a functional, fertile, tricolored male cat. So there you have it. The science behind the magic. X chromosomes carrying color. Random inactivation creating patches. White spotting genes adding their contribution. Female cats becoming living mosaics of genetic choice. Male calicos existing as precious exceptions to the rule. The magic isn't diminished by understanding. It, if anything, knowing how these patterns form makes them more wondrous, not less. Every calico is a demonstration of genetics in action, of randomness creating beauty, of biological processes weaving something unrepeatable and perfect. Let these thoughts settle gently as you rest. The image of cells making choices, of colors, switching on and off, of patterns emerging from chaos. Breathe slowly. Let yourself drift. More awaits, but for now, simply rest with the knowledge that beauty often has elegant explanations, and those explanations are beautiful in their own right. Sweet dreams. Let's continue our journey now into the world of calico personalities. If you've ever lived with a calico, you might find yourself smiling at what comes next. And if you haven't, well, you're about to understand why calico owners share such knowing glances when the subject comes up. Fact 20-6. Calicos are often described as playful and energetic. There's a spark to them, a vitality that seems to bubble up from somewhere deep inside. Watch a calico with a feather toy, and you might see that intensity we mentioned earlier. She doesn't just bat at the toy, she commits to the hunt. Full focus, complete engagement. That energy can light up a room, can turn a quiet afternoon into an adventure. Of course, not every calico is a whirlwind. Cats are individuals, after all. But the reputation exists for a reason. Whispered from one calico owner to another, this energy often manifests in a particular way. Fact 20-7. Many are intensely curious. A closed door becomes a mystery that must be solved. A bag left on the floor requires immediate investigation. A new piece of furniture demands thorough inspection from every angle. Calicos often approach the world with a scientist's mindset, forming hypotheses, testing them, drawing conclusions. What's in that cupboard? What happens if I knock this object off the counter? Where does that person go when they leave the house? Questions upon questions. And a calico will pursue answers with remarkable dedication. Fact 28 follows naturally. They explore everything. High shelves, low cabinets, the space behind the refrigerator, the inside of boxes, the depths of closets. A calico often knows your home better than you do. She's mapped every corner, tested every surface, investigated every nook. Nothing escapes her attention for long. This can be charming when she discovers a sunny spot you never noticed. It can be less charming when she discovers that the china cabinet isn't quite as secure as you thought. And this brings us to a word That comes up again and again. Fact 20-9. Owners often describe them as sassy. What does that mean, exactly? It's hard to define, but easy to recognize. There's an attitude there, a certain ... confidence. A calico might look at you when you call her name, consider your request, and then deliberately turn away to groom herself. Not because she didn't hear you, because she heard you perfectly well and chose to prioritize her own agenda. It's not rudeness, not exactly. It's self-possession. It's knowing exactly who she is and feeling no need to apologize for it. Fact 30 expands on this. Calicos are known for strong opinions about food, about the proper temperature of a lap, about which chair is hers, about appropriate bedtimes, about the correct way to pet her and where and for how long. A calico will let you know when something doesn't meet her standards. She'll let you know when you've done something right, too, but the complaints often come through more clearly. This isn't being difficult. This is simply having standards and expecting the world to respect them. But here's the beautiful contradiction. Fact 31. They can be affectionate on their terms. A calico might ignore you all morning, then suddenly appear in your lap at 3 in the afternoon, purring like a small engine, kneading your leg with her paws, headbutting your hand with insistent affection. You didn't summon her, she chose. This moment, and that choice, makes it all the sweeter. Calico affection isn't given automatically. It's earned and then offered freely when the mood strikes. And when it comes, it's absolutely genuine. Many calicos take this even further. Fact 30-2. Many are loyal to one favorite person. In a household of several people, a calico might choose this one. This is my person. She might be polite too. The others might accept their offerings of food and occasional pets. But her heart belongs to that one individual, the one she waits for at the door, the one whose lap is the preferred throne, the one whose face she pats with a gentle paw in the morning. Being chosen by a calico is an honor. It means something. And that loyalty often shows itself in endearing ways. Fact 33. They may follow their person from room to room, not constantly, not desperately, but with casual devotion. You get up to get water from the kitchen, and there she is, trotting along behind you. You go to make the bed, she arrives moments later to supervise. You settle in to read in a different room. Within minutes, she's found you. It's not clinginess, it's companionship. It's saying, without words, wherever you are is where I'd prefer to be. This loyalty, once given, runs deep. Fact 30-4. Calicos often bond deeply once trust is earned. It might not happen immediately. A calico might observe you for weeks, assessing, deciding whether you're worthy of her confidence. But once you've proven yourself, once she's determined that you're safe, that you're hers, that bond becomes something profound. She'll remember your kindness. She'll sense your moods. She'll offer comfort when you're sad in celebration. When you're happy, that connection, built slowly and maintained faithfully, becomes one of the great joys of living with a calico. And calicos have so many ways of communicating that bond. Fact 30-5. They can be talkative and expressive. Some cats are silent philosophers, communicating mainly through meaningful looks. Calicos, though, many calicos have things to say, and they'll say them. They'll tell you about their day. They'll comment on the quality of dinner. They'll express their feelings about the weather, about the neighbor's dog. About your choice of television program. Fact 36 describes their vocabulary. Many use chirps, trills, and vocal protests. Not just simple meows, but a whole range of sounds. The soft trill when you come home. The questioning chirp when she wants something but isn't quite sure what. The prolonged protest when you've done something she disapproves of. Like closing the door to a room she considers hers, or being late with breakfast, or having the audacity to take a phone call during her designated petting time. Each sound carries meaning, and if you live with a calico long enough, you'll learn to speak her language. Behind all of this, the energy, the curiosity, the sass, the loyalty. There's something else. Fact 30-7.c, ALICOS, are often very intelligent. They solve problems. They learn cause and effect. They understand routines and patterns. They remember. Some calicos learn to open doors. Others figure out puzzles, designed to slow down their eating. Many understand words, not just their name, but other words too. Treat, outside, bedtime, vet. They're watching, always watching, and processing what they see. Fact 38 demonstrates this. They quickly learn routines. Your morning alarm means breakfast is coming. The sound of your keys means you're leaving or returning. The opening of a particular cupboard means treats might appear. Tuesday evenings mean something different than Saturday mornings. A calico tracks these patterns, builds expectations around them, and will absolutely let you know if you deviate from the schedule she's come to rely on. Some calicos seem to revel in the attention their intelligence brings. Fact 39. Some seem to enjoy being the center of attention. They'll perform little tricks they've learned will get a reaction. They'll position themselves in the most visible spot when guests arrive. They'll interrupt conversations by walking across keyboards or knocking pens off desks. Not out of malice, but out of a sense that they should be included, that they're an important part of whatever's happening, and honestly, they're usually right. And finally, fact 40. Many develop quirky, unique habits. One calico might insist on drinking only from a running faucet. Another might carry a specific toy to bed every night. Some will only eat if you're in the room with them. Others have elaborate pre-sleep rituals or specific ways they want to be greeted when you come home. These quirks aren't common to all calicos. Tyri personal individual. Each calico develops her own set of preferences and rituals, becoming even more distinctly herself. So there's the reputation. Playful, curious, sassy, opinionated, selectively affectionate, loyal, expressive, intelligent, and wonderfully quirky. Not every calico fits every trait, of course, but these descriptions appear so often in conversations about calicos that there must be something to them. Whether it's truly linked to their coloring or simply our perceptions shaped by their striking appearance, the pattern of personality seems almost as consistent as the pattern of their fur. Let these images rest in your mind now. A calico chirping her hello, following quietly from room to room, expressing her opinions with absolute conviction, offering her trust like the precious gift it is. Breathe deeply. Feel yourself sinking further into rest. The world of calicos is rich and full. But for now, let it all blur softly at the edges. Sleep is close. Let it come. Now we arrive at something that calico owners discuss with a mixture of exasperation and fondness. The spice. The fire. the unexpected intensity that can transform a peaceful afternoon into something memorable. Let's talk about what makes Calicos or Calicos. Packed 41 calicos are known for strong mood shifts. You're sitting peacefully, perhaps reading a book, and your calico is curled contentedly beside you, purring. Everything is serene. Everything is perfect. And then, without warning, without any signal you can detect, she's up. Alert? Something has shifted inside her. Maybe she's decided playtime has arrived. Maybe a bird outside the window has triggered her hunting instincts. Maybe she's simply done with quiet time. Whatever the reason, the change is immediate and complete. The peaceful cat of 30 seconds ago has been replaced by a creature of pure focus and energy. Fact 42 captures this perfectly. Calm 1 minute, spicy the next. That's the Calico experience. The sudden pivot from tranquil companion to tiny tornado. One moment she's grooming herself with careful precision. The next, she's racing through the house at speeds that seem physically improbable, ricocheting off furniture, executing acrobatic leaps for no apparent reason, and then, just as suddenly, she stopped, returned to her grooming, as if nothing happened. As if you didn't just witness her temporary transformation into a furry missile. This phenomenon has earned a name. Fact 40-3. This is sometimes called tortitude. The word combines tortoiseshell and attitude, and while it originally referred to tortoiseshell cats, it applies equally to calicos. They share similar genetics. After all, that same X inactivation creating patches of color. And apparently, they also share this reputation for spirited temperament. Tortitude. It's said with affection by those who know, a knowing acknowledgement that these cats come with personality. Lots of it. More than you might be prepared for. This intensity often shows up during play. Fact 40-4. They often have intense play styles. A calico doesn't just play with a toy. She hunts it. She stalks it with complete seriousness, muscles tensed, pupils dilated, body low to the ground. And when she pounces, she commits fully. This isn't casual batting at a dangling string. This is a performance of predatory skill, executed with a kind of focus usually reserved for actual survival. Even though the prey is made of felt and feathers and poses no actual challenge, she treats it like worthy quarry. Fact 45 elaborates. Their play can include pouncing and mock attacks. And sometimes, those attacks are directed at you. Not with intent to harm, of course, but with all the enthusiasm of a predator whose spotted movement, your foot under the blanket, becomes a suspicious lump that must be investigated vigorously, with teeth and claws. You're walking past and suddenly she launches from behind the couch, wrapping herself around your ankle in a surprise assault before darting away. It's play, but it's play with an edge. Play that reminds you she's a tiny hunter in a house cat's body. This intensity can manifest in other ways too. Fact 40-6. They may startle easily. A sudden noise, an unexpected movement, and she's gone. A calico startle response can be impressive. She might leap straight up, all four paws leaving the ground simultaneously, or she might bolt from the room as if pursued by invisible threats. Her nervous system seems tuned to high sensitivity, ready to react instantly to anything unexpected. This keeps her safe in the wild, of course. In a living room, it means a doorbell or a dropped book can trigger dramatic responses. Changes to her environment can be particularly challenging. Fact 47. Some react quickly to changes in routine. Move the furniture. She notices. Change her feeding time. She has opinions about this. New schedule at work. She's aware, and she's not necessarily pleased. Calicos often thrive on predictability. And when that predictability is disrupted, they let you know, sometimes through vocalization, sometimes through behavior, sometimes simply through the force of their disapproving stare and new additions to the household. Fact 40-8. New people or pets can trigger big reactions. A calico might hide when strangers visit, or she might march out to inspect them with an intensity that makes guests uncomfortable. A new cat or dog joining the family might be met with hissing, with puffed tails, with growling protests. She had her territory arranged just so, thank you very much, and this intruder needs to understand the hierarchy immediately. Some calicos adjust quickly. Others take their time accepting changes to their domain, because make no mistake, it is their domain. Fact 40-9. Many calicos act like the boss in multi-pet homes, even if she's the smallest, even if she's the newest arrival. The calico often carries herself with an authority that other pets recognize and respect. She might claim the best sleeping spots. She might eat first. She might decide which toys belong to whom. The other animals seem to understand, somehow, that this patchy cat is in charge, and they adjust accordingly. Fact 50 demonstrates this leadership. They often enforce household rules. Rules she's decided upon, mind you, not necessarily rules you've established. This toy stays here. That window is hers at sunset. The other cat is not allowed in the bedroom. She patrol. She intervene if her rules are broken. A swat here, a warning hiss there, and order is maintained. You might not have realized your home had these regulations, but your calico knows them well and takes her enforcement duties seriously. And heaven help anyone who challenges her claim to her favorite places. Fact 51. They may guard favorite spots. That particular chair, that sunny patch on the floor at 3 p.m, the top of the cat tree. These belong to her, and she'll defend them. Not viciously, usually, but firmly. Another pet approaching might receive a warning glare. A persistent intruder might be swatted away. She's not being mean. She's simply maintaining her rightful territories. And if you try to move her from her chosen spot, well, she'll let you know how she feels about that too. Beneath all this intensity, there's something deeper happening. Fact 50-2. They tend to be sensitive to environment and energy. A calico often picks up on subtle changes. Tension in the household, stress, excitement, sadness. She feels it, absorbs it, sometimes reflects it back. If the home is chaotic, she might become more reactive. If it's peaceful, she might settle. She's like a barometer for the emotional weather around her, responding to conditions you might not even consciously notice. Many owners report something even more specific. Fact 50-3. Owners say calicos mirror their humans' emotions. You're having a bad day, and she's more clingy than usual. You're anxious, and she seems restless. You're happy, and she's playful and affectionate. This might be coincidence, or it might be that deep sensitivity at work. Either way, living with a calico often feels like living with someone who truly sees you, who responds to your emotional state, who's connected to you in ways that go beyond simple pet and owner dynamics. And finally, fact 54, which somehow captures the beautiful contradiction of Calico Cats. They're often Velcro cats, but with boundaries. They want to be near you. They choose to follow you. They seek out your company, but they want it on their terms. They'll sit beside you, not on you. They'll be in the same room, but perhaps across it. They want connection without being overwhelmed by it. Closeness that still respects their independence. It's the perfect feline balance. I love you, but I also need my space. Stay near, but not too near. Be available, but don't smother. So there's the spice. The mood shifts and intensity. The tortitude in full display. The boss energy and territorial instincts. The sensitivity that makes them react to everything. The way they mirror emotions while maintaining fierce independence. It's a lot. Living with a calico is never boring. It's challenging sometimes, yes, but it's also vibrant and alive and full of personality. These cats demand that you pay attention, that you respect them, that you understand they're not decorative objects, but complex beings with feelings and preferences and boundaries. And really, isn't that what makes them so unforgettable? Let that energy settle now. Let the image of a calico's fire soften into warm embers. All that intensity, all that life, gently dimming as sleep approaches. Breathe slowly. Feel yourself sinking deeper. The spice is part of their charm, but for now, let everything be calm. Rest easy. Let's shift now to something grounding, something practical. The lifetime journey of a Calico cat, and how to care for her through all her stages. From the chaos of kittenhood to the dignity of her senior years, each phase brings its own joys and needs. Fact 50-5. Calico kittens are often high energy and dramatic. If you thought adult calicos had personality, well, meet a calico kitten. She's all of that intensity, compressed into a tiny body with seemingly unlimited energy. She races through the house at 2 a.m. She'll scale your curtains. She'll attack your toes with fearless abandon. Everything is new, everything is exciting, and she approaches it all with complete commitment. The drama is real. A piece of lint becomes a mortal enemy. A shadow on the wall is clearly a threat. The world is full of wonders and dangers, and she must investigate all of them immediately. But she needs more than just space to zoom around. Fact 50-6. Young adults need daily interactive play. Between kittenhood and middle age, during those energetic years, a calico needs to hunt, to chase, to pounce. Without appropriate outlets for this energy, she'll find her own, and you might not appreciate her creativity. Daily play sessions with wand toys, laser pointers, or thrown balls give her what she needs. They satisfy her predatory instincts. They tire her out in healthy ways. And they strengthen the bond between you. 20 minutes of focused play each day can be the difference between a contented calico and one who's climbing the walls. ... Literally. Time does bring some changes, though. Fact 50-7. Many come slightly with age. That hyperactive kitten becomes a young adult with moments of tranquility. The young adult becomes a middle-aged cat who appreciates a good nap. It's not that the personality disappears. ... That spark remains. But it's tempered with maturity. She still has her opinions, but perhaps she expresses them with slightly less volume. She still plays, but maybe for 15 minutes instead of an hour. She learns the rhythms of the household and settles into them. And then come the senior years. Fact 50-8. Senior calicos often become dignified but opinionated. Age brings a kind of regal quality. She moves with deliberation now, conserving energy, making each action purposeful. But don't mistake this for passivity. An elderly calico still knows what she wants. Her preferences have hardened into absolute requirements over the years. That food bowl must be in exactly that spot. Her routine is sacred, and she'll let you know, with all the authority of her accumulated years, when something isn't to her liking. Dignity and attitude. They age together beautifully in a calico. Now, how long can you expect this journey to last? Fact 50-9. Calicos have normal feline lifespans. Their coat color doesn't shorten or extend their lives. They're not more fragile or more robust because of their patches. They live as long as any other cat with similar genetics and care. The calico pattern is beautiful, but it's just appearance. Underneath, they're subject to the same biological realities as all cats. Fact 60 gives us numbers. Average lifespan is about 12 to 17 years. That's a significant chunk of your life. Nearly 2 decades, potentially, of companionship, of quirks and cuddles, of learning each other's languages, of building that bond fact by fact, day by day. 12 to 17 years of her following. You from room to room, of her judging your life choices, of her curling up nearby, not quite on you, but close enough, and with excellent care, even longer as possible. Fact 61. Some live over 20 years with good care. Imagine it. 20 years with the same calico, watching her grow from a wild kitten to a dignified senior, seeing her personality deepen and evolve, building decades of shared memories. It happens. With proper nutrition, regular veterinary care, a safe environment, and a little luck. A calico can be your companion for a remarkable span of time. Location makes a tremendous difference. Fact 60-2. Indoor calicos live much longer than outdoor. Cats. This is true for all cats, but it bears repeating. An indoor cat faces fewer threats. No cars, no predators. Reduced exposure to diseases and parasites. A controlled, safe environment where the biggest dangers are perhaps jumping off furniture poorly or eating something they shouldn't. Outdoor cats face so many risks, even in quiet neighborhoods, even with the best intentions. If you want your calico to reach those potential 20 years, keeping her inside gives her the best chance. It's important to remember though, fact 63, lifespan depends on lifestyle, not coat color. The calico pattern doesn't make her special in terms of longevity. What matters is how you care for her, the food you provide, the medical attention she receives, the safety of her environment, her genetics, inherited from parents who may or may not have had health issues. These factors determine how long she'll be with you, not the arrangement of orange and black and wide on her fur. Throughout her life, she needs mental stimulation. Fact 60-4. Calicos need enrichment to prevent boredom. Remember that intelligence we discussed? That curiosity? Without appropriate challenges, a bored calico becomes a destructive calico, or a depressed one. She needs things to think about, problems to solve, environments to explore. Rotate her toys so there's always something new. Create spaces she can climb and investigate. Give her windows to look out of, bird feeders to watch. A stimulated calico is a happier, healthier calico. One specific type of enrichment works particularly well. Fact 60-5. Puzzle feeders work especially well. These are toys that make her work for her food. She has to figure out how to get the kibble out of the maze, or how to access the treats hidden inside. This taps into her hunting instincts. It slows down eating, which is healthier, and it provides mental exercise. For a clever calico, puzzle feeders can be the highlight of her day. The challenge, the reward, the satisfaction of solving it. It's enrichment and feeding in one. Physical. Environment matters too. Fact 6-6. Scratching posts and climbing spaces are important. Cats need to scratch. It maintains their claws, marks their territory, stretches their muscles. Without appropriate scratching posts, your furniture will become the scratching post. And vertical space. Cats see the world in 3 dimensions. They feel safer when they can climb high. Cat trees, wall-mounted shelves, even cleared-off bookcases. Give your calico the ability to survey her domain from above. She'll use it. She'll appreciate it. And you'll probably find her sleeping on the highest perch, keeping watch over her. Kingdom. Personal care shouldn't be neglected. Fact 60-7. Grooming should happen weekly. Even short-haired calicos benefit from regular brushing. It removes loose fur, reducing hairballs. It distributes skin oils, keeping the coat healthy. It gives you a chance to check for any lumps, bumps, or skin issues. And many cats, once they're accustomed to it, find grooming relaxing. It becomes a bonding ritual. A calico might even start to demand it, presenting herself for brushing on schedule, because this is her time and you'd better not forget it. Medical care is fundamental. Fact 60-8. Regular vet care supports long-term health. Annual checkups. Even when she seems perfectly fine. Keeping vaccinations current. Dental cleanings when recommended. Catching problems early when they're still manageable. A good veterinarian becomes your partner in keeping your calico healthy through all her life stages. They'll know her baseline, so they can spot changes. They'll help you make decisions about her care. Don't skip those checkups. They matter more than they might seem to. For female calicos, one procedure is particularly important. Fact 60-9. Spaying by 4 to 6 months improves health and behavior. It prevents unwanted litters, of course, but it also reduces the risk of certain cancers. It eliminates heat cycles, which can be stressful for everyone involved. It often reduces territorial marking and roaming behaviors. It's a straightforward procedure with significant benefits. Your calico won't miss what she never knew, and she'll be healthier for it. And finally, something simple but crucial. Fact 70. Hydration is important. Fountains help. Many cats don't drink enough water, which can lead to urinary and kidney issues. Running water is more appealing to cats than still water. That it's fresher, more interesting. A cat fountain encourages drinking, the sound, the movement, it all attracts them. You might notice your calico drinking more once you provide flowing water. It's a small investment that supports kidney health and overall well-being. So there's the practical side. The care that supports a long, healthy life. From managing kitten energy to respecting senior dignity. From daily play to regular grooming. From proper nutrition to medical care. from environmental enrichment to simple hydration. These aren't specific to Calicos, really. They're good cat care. But your Calico, with all her personality and opinions, deserves nothing less than excellent care. She'll be with you for years, maybe decades. Make them good years. Make them healthy years. Give her the enrichment, the care, the attention she needs. And in return, she'll give you herself, completely, dramatically, with all the spice and sweetness that makes her uniquely. Let these practical thoughts settle, imagining years of companionship, years of care and connection. Breathe deeply. Let your body relax completely. Sleep comes closer with each breath. Rest now. As we move deeper into the night, let's talk gently about something important. The later years, the health realities that come with age. This isn't meant to worry you, but to prepare you, to help you care for your Calico through all her seasons, including the autumn and winter of her life. Fact 71. Calicos don't have special health risks from color alone. Let's establish this clearly. The genes that create that beautiful patchy coat don't predispose her to specific diseases. She's not more fragile because she's Calico. She's not at higher risk because of her coloring. The health challenges she might face are the same ones any aging cat might encounter. Her coat is irrelevant to her medical future. This is important to understand, so you don't carry unnecessary worry about her being Calico specifically. That said, age does bring changes. Fact 70-2. Senior Calicos face common feline aging issues. Just like any cat entering her golden years, she becomes more vulnerable to certain conditions. Her organs have been working for over a decade. Systems start to show where this is natural, this is expected. It doesn't mean something is wrong with her. It simply means she's aging. And with age comes the need for closer attention to her health. One of the most common issues affects the kidneys. Fact 73. Kidney disease is common in older cats. The kidneys filter waste from the blood, maintain fluid balance, regulate blood pressure. Over years of constant work, they can begin to decline. Chronic kidney disease develops gradually, often showing no obvious symptoms until it's fairly advanced. This is why those senior vet visits matter. Blood work can catch kidney issues early. When dietary changes and supportive care can slow progression and maintain quality of life for years. Another frequent concern involves the thyroid. Fact 74. Hyperthyroidism is another frequent issue. The thyroid gland produces hormones that regulate metabolism. Sometimes, in older cats, this gland becomes overactive. Too much thyroid hormone speeds everything up. Weight loss despite good appetite, increased thirst, restlessness, sometimes vomiting or diarrhea. It sounds scary, but it's very treatable. Medication can control it. Sometimes surgery or radioactive iodine treatment can cure it. With management, a hyperthyroid cat can live comfortably for years. Physical mobility can also change. Fact 75. Arthritis can limit mobility. Those joints that have carried her through thousands of jumps, millions of steps, may begin to ache. She might hesitate before jumping onto furniture. She might move more stiffly in the morning. She might stop using her favorite high perch because getting up there hurts. Arthritis is common in aging cats, though they hide their pain well. Watch for behavioral changes. Reluctance to jump, decreased activity, changes in litter box usage. If the sides are too high, Pain management and environmental modifications can help tremendously. The mouth requires attention too. Fact 76. Dental disease becomes more common with age. Tartar buildup, gum inflammation, tooth decay, infections, dental problems are painful and can affect her overall health, contributing to kidney and heart issues. Bad breath isn't just unpleasant, it's often a sign of dental disease. Regular dental cleanings under anesthesia, while seeming like a big deal, can prevent serious problems. And at home, dental treats, or brushing if she tolerates it, can help maintain oral health between professional cleanings. Metabolic changes can occur as well. Fact 77. Diabetes can develop later in life. The pancreas produces insulin to regulate blood sugar. Sometimes this system stops working properly. Increased thirst and urination are often the first signs. Weight loss, despite eating well, increased appetite. Diabetes requires management. Insulin injections, usually twice daily, and careful diet control. It sounds overwhelming at first, but many cat owners become quite proficient at it. With treatment, diabetic cats can live for years with good quality of life. The heart, too, is subject to age-related changes. Fact 70-8. Heart disease affects some seniors. Various forms exist. The heart muscle might thicken, reducing efficiency. Heart valves might leak. Fluid might accumulate. Sometimes heart disease is silent, discovered during routine exams. Other times, it causes symptoms. Difficulty breathing, decreased energy, reduced appetite. Like many senior conditions, it's often manageable with medication. The goal isn't always cure, but comfort and quality time. Heart disease can lead to another issue. Fact 70-9. High blood pressure can occur secondarily, often as a result of kidney disease or hypothyroidism, but sometimes on its own. High blood pressure in cats can cause sudden blindness if it damages the retina. It can affect the kidneys and heart. It's another reason those senior wellness exams matter. Blood pressure can be checked. If it's high, medication can control it, preventing serious complications. And in the very oldest cats, mental changes can appear. Fact 80. Cognitive changes may appear in very old cats. Feline cognitive dysfunction, similar to dementia in humans. She might seem confused, might forget routines she's known for years, might vocalize more, especially at night, might have litter box accidents. These changes are heartbreaking to witness, but understanding what's happening helps. Environmental enrichment, maintaining routine, certain supplements, and lots of patience can help manage cognitive decline. But here's the reassuring part. Fact 80-1. Regular vet checks catch issues early. Every 6 months for senior cats is ideal. Blood work, urinalysis, blood pressure checks, physical examination. Many of these age-related conditions are manageable, especially when caught early. Bad kidney disease, dietary changes can slow it significantly. Hyperthyroidism, medication controls it well. Arthritis, pain management restores mobility and comfort. Early detection means more options, better outcomes, extended quality time, and you can do so much at home. Fact 80-2. Comfort modifications improve senior quality of life. Lower litter boxes for arthritic joints, ramps or steps to favorite spots, extra padding in sleeping areas. Food and water bowls raised to comfortable heights. Nightlights if her vision is declining, keeping her warm as older cats feel the cold more. These simple changes show tremendous love. They say, I see that you're aging, and I'm adapting to meet you where you are. Senior years aren't something to fear. Yes, health issues become more likely. Yes, you'll probably spend more time and money at the vet. Yes, there will be decisions to make about her care, but these years can also be deeply precious. That senior Calico, dignified and opinionated, has given you so much. Now you have the privilege of caring for her as she ages, of making her comfortable, of ensuring her final chapter is filled with warmth and love and gentle attention. She still be herself, still bossy about her preferences, still expressing opinions, still offering that selective affection on her terms. The essence of who she is doesn't disappear with age. It just moves a little slower, rests a little more, needs a little extra help. And that's okay. That's the natural progression. That's the contract we make when we welcome a cat into our lives. To be there for all of it. The playful kitten years, the energetic adult years, the dignified senior years. All of it matters. All of it is part of the story. Let these thoughts settle gently. The full arc of a life. The care that continues through every stage. Your breathing is slower now, deeper, more rhythmic. Everything is as it should be. In this moment, simply rest. Let sleep embrace you softly. All is well. And now, as sleep draws very near, let's come full circle. Back to what makes Calico Cats so special. Not the genetics, not the health concerns, but the heart of it. The connection, the bond. The reason people who've loved a calico carry that experience with them forever. Fact 80-3. Every calico has a one-of-a-kind personality. We've talked about the patterns common to CALICOS. The sass, the intelligence, the intensity. But within those broad strokes, each individual calico is utterly unique. One might be vocal and demanding. Another might be quiet and observant. One might adore strangers. Another might hide for hours when guests arrive. One might play fetch. Another might prefer solo hunting of dust particles and sunbeams. The Calico, sitting in your lap right now, or the one you remember from years ago, or the one you hope to meet someday, is singular, unrepeatable, herself alone. And that uniqueness leaves a mark. Fact 80-4. Their intensity makes them unforgettable. You might forget the details of other cats you've known. Their names might blur together. Their faces might fade in memory. But a Calico, she stays with you. You remember her quirks, her preferences. The exact sound of her protest when you were late with dinner. The way she'd follow you to the bathroom every single morning. The spot on your shoulder she'd claim when she wanted affection. That intensity we've discussed throughout this journey. It etches itself into your memory. Years later, you'll still smile thinking about her. The relationship feels different somehow. Fact 80-5. Their bond can feel deeply personal. It's not just that you own a Calico. It's that you and she have an understanding. A relationship that feels mutual, reciprocal. She knows you, really knows you, your moods, your routines, your vulnerabilities, and you know her just as well, her signals, her needs, her boundaries. This isn't a one-sided arrangement where you provide and she receives. It's a genuine connection between two beings who've chosen to share space and life. That choice matters. Fact 80-6. Calicos often choose their person carefully. She doesn't love indiscriminately. She observes. She assesses. She decides. And when she chooses you, when she determines that you are worthy of her trust and affection, it means something. It feels like an honor, like you've been selected from all possible options. She could have bonded with someone else in the household, but she chose you. She could have remained aloof, but she decided you were worth the risk of connection. And once that choice is made, it holds. Fact 80-7. Once chosen, loyalty runs deep. Through moves and life changes. Through your good days and bad days. Through times when you have plenty of attention to give and times when you're distracted by life's demands. She remains your constant, your companion. That loyalty isn't flashy or demonstrative. She's not a dog, after all. But it's there, steady, reliable. She'll be waiting when you come home. She'll find you when you're sad. She'll be there in the morning and there at night. Day after day, year after year, her presence is a kind of devotion. Over time, she becomes woven into your life. Fact 80-8. Their quirks become part of the household rhythm. You wake up at a certain time because that's when she wants breakfast. You keep a specific chair clear because that's where she sits at 3 o'clock. You buy particular foods, arrange furniture in particular ways, maintain certain routines, all adapted to accommodate her preferences. And these aren't burdens. They're the shape of love. The practical expression of sharing your life with someone who has opinions and needs. The household rhythm bends to include her, and that bending feels natural, right? Like she was always meant to be part of this pattern. Many people describe it as fate. Fact 80-9. Many owners say their Calico feels meant for them. Maybe you chose her from a shelter, drawn to those particular patches. Maybe she was a stray who showed up and refused to leave. Maybe she was a gift, or an inheritance, or a rescue. However she arrived, looking back, it feels inevitable, like the universe conspired to bring you together. Like of all the cats in all the world, this one was always supposed to be yours. It's not logical, it's not rational, but the feeling persists. She was meant for you. You were meant for her. And accepting that means accepting all of her. Fact 90. Our final thought. Loving a Calico means embracing the magic and the spice, the sweetness and the sass, the cuddles and the attitude, the loyalty and the independence. You don't get to pick just the easy parts. A Calico is a complete package. She'll frustrate you. She'll make you laugh. She'll wake you up too early. She'll comfort you when you cry. She'll ignore you when you call. She'll appear exactly when you need her. She'll be too much and not enough and absolutely perfect, all at once. Loving a Calico means accepting that you've invited complexity into your life. Not a simple, easy pet who exists to please you, but a full personality, a force of nature in a small, patchy package. Someone who will challenge you and change you and leave paw prints all over your heart. And in return, you get something rare. A connection that feels almost magical. A companion who sees you completely. A relationship built on mutual respect and genuine affection. Years of memories. A presence that makes your house feel like home. Every Calico is unique. Every bond is personal. Every moment together is unrepeatable. And that is the real magic. Not the genetics or the folklore, but the love, the connection, the daily choosing of each other, the way she becomes part of your story and you become part of hers. So as you drift off to sleep tonight, if you have a calico, maybe picture her. Now, sleeping somewhere nearby, or curled against you, or watching over you from across the room. That particular arrangement of orange and black and white, that specific personality, that one-in-the-world bond you share. And if you don't have a calico, but you've been touched by one in the past, let her memory rest gently in your mind. The way she moved, the sound of her purr, the feeling of being chosen by her, or perhaps you're dreaming of a calico yet to come. Someone waiting out there, wearing a pattern that has never existed before, and never will again. Someone who might, someday, choose you. Whatever your connection to these remarkable cats, let it fill you with warmth now. Let it settle softly around you like a blanket. Let it carry you gently into sleep. 90 facts about Calico Cats. 90 pieces of their story. 90 reasons why they matter. Why they're remembered. Why they're loved. Your breathing is slow and deep now. Your body is completely relaxed. Sleep is here, patient and welcoming. Let yourself sink into it. Let the images fade. Let the thoughts dissolve. Just breath and warmth and rest. The calicos of the world will be there tomorrow. Their patches, their personalities, their magic. But for now, you simply sleep. Deeply, deeply good night.